Hey Mavericks, Mike Ortiz here, and we're here with a giant discovery where I'm going to share you how to get leads through the flattened funnel. So this is the process we do. We found it through processing, right, of our own systems and seeing it refined, and finally hit some numbers, like unexpected numbers. And you'll see this on the screen. I'm sharing my screen and I'm going to dialogue you through it, what happened over the last 6 months since this time frame. So not only did we hit it at this time frame, what you see up here on the left of the end of 2024, right, 9/27, but it was continued from this point forward and continue to increase. And not only does it make it, they give us the ability to scale. It has increased in massive numbers for us to be able to see, for them, the client, and for us. So it's a win-win-win, because the people who are actually taking advantage of the offer are super, super stoked, beyond stoked. It's not even a matter of being stoked. It's a matter of being like, hey, super results focused. And so they're getting what they're hoping for. They're not just getting whims and whiffs of puff and smoke, right? It's the real deal. So I'm going to take you through this. Pretty important part of it is the knowing of who your ideal client is. This is what nailed it. The offer was on point, and again, the title, right? The titles. I'll show you some title. I'll show you some what they're hitting, starting with the ad, because you reverse engineer, you fine tune what this looks like for the person on the other end. You're focusing on who that ideal person is. You can't lose, right? And so along the way, this is what the results were for one of our clients. We're going to get right to it. This is the type of ad. So you'll see this, it's kind of in style, it's kind of a UGC, but it's not necessarily. It's more about you talking to the person direct, right? Direct to the point, direct who you want to speak to. And that's what she nailed here. And very clean, right? Vertical video, and always encourage videos. It's not just an image. So vertical video, and it's done amazing. So if we go from there and we look at this from what this looks like for her, what she was wearing, that was pretty important, right? We tried about 7 different styles with different types, men and for her and a male, female. And then from there, we just had them go straight forward and move into, let's do that same style. And this was more for the funnel, right? In the landing page, kind of a short, VSL, not necessarily VSL, but somewhat like it. And the idea is to do both the vertical and the horizontal, one of each, right, to test. So we end up doing multiple on the vertical side, but that was like the backdrop, right? It was clean, straight up, no questions asked. It was with the smartphone. So I do encourage you, if you're going to do a smartphone, do it close proximity, but also make sure, if you don't have, wind in the background, things like that with video, it's kind of tricky. We always say audio outwins visible. Audio outwins your visual. So just take that into note. Don't forget, always focus on what you're saying, right? So that people can actually hear what you say, more importantly than what they see. Now, obviously, if you can combine the two, hit home run on both, you will crush it out every time. We're getting some type of either results in that, hey, the maybe the ad won't convert, but you're seeing, hey, very quickly where you need to tweak. Because if you got the audio and you got the visuals on point, there's no question it's the other elements, right? It's either you got, an offer to tweak, it's the hook, the something that's grabbing their attention right from the beginning, drawing them in to be able to get it and digest, what should I be paying attention to? And if you're going to get their attention, you better do it well. But if you don't, you're questioning, like, oh man, was that good enough? I'm going to say, don't go that route. Don't ask yourself, was it good enough? Put it out there, test it. They'll let you know. Your audience will let you know, right? So that was key, and we nailed it. She did really well, right? And obviously, we also, like I said, we did 2. We did different types. We did different looks, different locations. Sometimes it did better in a business setting where it was like office spaces, outdoors, differently, shot differently. Not necessarily the messaging. The messaging always stayed to that core thing, and that is, are you speaking to the person that they need to reach out to? And so as we go further, I'm going to show you the breakdown. So literally, this video turned out awesome as well, right? But it just we kept testing different styles, right? And then here's the male version, right? So good man, awesome guy, we love him. He was just going for it, nailing it. Again, two different types, vertical or horizontal, two different. We had the male and the female versions, and it was interesting. So his does really well on the landing page, right? His vertical didn't perform as well as hers in the ad, so we just combined the two. Win-win. Ended up being pretty awesome. And so with that said, we used his, like I said, in the landing page, horizontal video, and tells that person, which was here you see as a doctor, right? He's speaking right to them, going for the win, seeing where the copy was too. We were like, it didn't take long for us to discover that their offer was amazing. We really need to speak to that person on what they can do, what they can accomplish, right? Then we're going to go straight to the ads. And the ad side, the ad sets that we said we saw, I mentioned, tested different types, wearing different clothing, saying the same thing, basically, tweaking a little bit along the way. And we found the winning ads. So you'll see these are still, to this day, some of the best performing, right? This was back then, but we still are performing well. So that's the beginning of the top of the funnel, right? Getting the awareness, getting this messaging, and dialed in, fine-tuned, and then boom, that's your top of the funnel, so that you get that traffic that you're wanting to your sale. So, and right now, what we see here is the next thing was communication. Aftermath, when people started to come into the funnel, they're at the top, they're getting aware, they click through, they put their information, we see this immediately kicks into GHL. GHL is a happy camper when we get some numbers in there, because then it's an advantage to yourself to use this loop, API loop. I won't get into that, but the whole idea is to also make sure data doesn't just tell you where Facebook or Meta or whatever you're using, doesn't matter if it's Google, whatever, the data doesn't tell you what to do, you tell the data what to do, because you should know and discover really quickly if you're onto something, speaking to your ideal client, our ideal customer. So then from there, we went from that to the communication piece. Textual was amazing. We still see it to this day. Email, there are confirmations and things like that come through email, but communication was a big one. It wasn't on social. There's the ability to tie in your high level piece to and use Meta, use different communication pieces through Messenger, but this one was the best, right? SMS. I will say, still to this day, performs the best. You can use WhatsApp, you can use email, right? You can use all the other, integrative pieces that are in high level, but I'll tell you, this was the win right here. So communicating that way. Here's where we started seeing numbers increase from the very first month, if not even anything right after that first month. It would just boom, right on. 22 leads generated. You'll see it right here on the screen. 14 of those top performing creatives, right? We got $15.73 cost per lead. Average was $13.16, right? $13.16, which is awesome, right? You can't go wrong, but we wanted to get that even better. With the new creatives tested, we got 8. So pretty cool. And then we started to see a jump. And it, again, because of the type of ad, you just fine tune, tweak what you've got. And then when you see something perform, you fine tune even further. You optimize. That's what optimization, obviously, that no-brainer is all about, is just optimize. So we got 51 leads overall at an average of 6.87. So $6.87. Come on. And then as it continued to increase, we started seeing the performance better than the old ads, right? So 15 leads compared to 12 leads at $8.76 for each lead, and the cost per lead was like, okay, well, we're already increasing. But we also noticed that 2 of those ads were generated 39 leads. 2 of them out of I think it was 12 ads going at the same time, if I remember correctly. And 1 ad outperformed them all, right? With 34 leads at a cost of $5.60 per lead. So the other one got 5 leads at about $11.60. Still not bad, right? Not bad at all. The cost was higher, but that didn't mean that those leads did not end up being quality. That was the key too. We just increased in quality of our lead. So there's your leads. There's your kind of raw numbers. Then you'll see here some of the ads as we were going, started seeing this, number of leads, the cost going down, and obviously money spent, but it was a legitimate way to understand where we're heading. Are we going in the right direction? Or do we need to make some changes? Right? So that tells you. And this is still very much top of funnel. 12, leads, 396, 4750, continue to create and get better and better. From there, we started seeing leads come in. As you know, in high level, this is kind of that contacts coming in, responded, left voicemail, they were on it. That's another huge point to this. So you can't just rely on AI and SMS and messaging automations. You got to be on it if you want to see the sales. So we got the leads, but we also need the sales. That's what we want to see with conversion all the way through. But look how quickly this ended up being. Over a matter of one day, this started to flow, right? It started to turn the dial up, and we just increased that, continue to go. And by the end of that, September 2024, we saw that same month. So those numbers filled our calendars, right? And this was so massive in one form that we only had that individual ready to, person trying to take on all these sales. So we had to, we talked with the clients, and they said, yep, we're going to increase. We want to grow. We want to make sure we're getting this done right. Now we need to actually think about our sales team. We need to hire some more people. So at the end of the day, it ended up being win-win-win for everyone, like I said. And that was the flattened funnel. That's all there is. Straight to the appointments. There wasn't this massive, long form. Yes, we had a funnel. See, over time, more people through the funnel. And now they're actually seeing not equal, but more people in the funnel as well as booked appointments. So just to give you a quick one, that was it for me. I hope this helps you really think about that process. Really break that down. When you're talking about getting leads, you don't need a massive funnel. Complicated, and again, we always say complication leads to no, right? Or even putting something in context to building a funnel. It doesn't have to be this massive thing where people step through the hoops, but the more the hoops they have to step through, the less chance of you seeing conversion. So, again, hope this is helpful for you guys. And if anything, take this nugget, apply it to what you're doing, and you will see. We've already seen solid. This isn't just one client. We've seen multiple. So put it into use, and who knows, by 6 months, 6 months from now, there could be a change. There could be a tweak, but I'm just saying right now, while you're hungry and you want to get after it, there's things you can do right now to tweak. And hopefully one of these things I just shared could be helpful for you to put into your equation, to your funnel, to your processes, right? In high level, and go for it. Go after it. We'll see you on the next one.